Man creates a death ray strapped to his car, gives neighbors cause for concern. Dogs barking, loud parties, naked sunbathing in the backyard. You just can't win with some neighbors, but at least these minor annoyances wouldn't cause you to fear for your life. When one man got the idea to strap a giant death ray to his car and begin firing it around his neighborhood, you can bet noise complaints were the last thing on his neighbors' minds. What kind of a person would be crazy enough to build such a dangerous device? None other than Kevin Kohler, YouTube's own backyard scientist. Kevin's reputation for wild experiments was known far and wide. Yet with this latest effort, the amateur scientist was really looking to push the boundaries. He started by reaching out to the aerospace community Northrop Grumman in search of a high-quality laser. Unfortunately, the representative on the phone told him the model he was looking for was only available to the military or U.S. government. And so, Kevin had to get creative. Reaching out to a contact in China, he dropped a cool $1,500 on a state-of-the-art laser. Though the item that arrived didn't exactly look like the centerpiece of a so-called death ray. Despite producing 200 watts of power, the laser fiber was only 100 micrometers in diameter. To put that into perspective, that's about the size of the average human hair. The beam produced by this laser was both incredibly powerful and invisible. In Kevin's words, it could literally burn out your retinas without you even realizing. Of course, who wouldn't want to see that in action? Well, maybe not the retina burning part, but Kevin was quick to build a makeshift laser system to test its power for himself. Placing a block of wood just a foot or two from the laser, Kevin threw on his protective glasses and fired. In just a matter of seconds, the laser burned a hole a half centimeter deep into the wood. Naturally, Kevin was eager to see what else he could burn with his newest toy. A rock became his next victim, and just like with the wood, the laser burned through it, like scissors through paper. But if this tiny laser could do so much damage to rock and wood, imagine what it could do to metal. Well, Kevin didn't have to imagine it, as he then used the beam to melt a zinc penny and superheat a copper one until it was red hot. Yet, zapping a few household items was a waste of the laser's potential. Kevin knew he had to think bigger. That's why he decided to convert an old RV satellite mount and remote control into a fully functioning laser aim. This, however, was nothing compared to what Kevin did to the laser itself. Using a variety of telescopic reflectors, voltage converters, and other technical doodads, Kevin created a laser enclosure to focus and strengthen the beam. Now, the real fun could begin. In light of the global COVID-19 pandemic, Kevin decided his first target would be the Corona, a bottle of Corona beer to be exact. With just a quick blast from the laser, the bottle was blown to smithereens. Next up was a laser sandwich, which was just a piece of ham and a slice of marble rye stapled to some plywood. The bread got a quick, precise toast from the laser, though. Unexpectedly, the ham was so translucent that the beam instead burnt the wood behind it. Even the Queen of England herself stopped by for a quick haircut courtesy of Kevin's laser. Unfortunately, it looks like he took a little too much off the top for old Liz's liking. Brits, you might want to look away now. Kevin finished off his test by blasting a lighter, which turned into a literal flamethrower as the lighter fluid within ignited. The experiment had proven a fun one. Yet, what's cooler than firing a laser during the day? Why, firing one at night. Mounting the laser to his car, Kevin and his team headed out to an open field with one mission in mind: shooting the beam into space. Fortunately, there were no airplanes in the area for miles, making this the perfect time to fire. With an infrared camera at the ready in order to make the beam visible, Kevin primed the laser and fired. Boom! The laser was massive and as bright as it could be, but before the beam could ignite the nearby tires, Kevin tilted it up into the night sky. The beam seemed to go on forever, stretching miles into the air like a gigantic spotlight. Kevin pointed it at everything from stars to distant planets. Even the moon got a taste of the powerful laser. In the end, Kevin was really just out to show how lasers work and prove how cool they could be. Sure, building a homemade death ray was a pretty dangerous stunt, though it was nothing compared to the antics of another well-known daredevil.